here, the only thing that we have to talk about is Aero. He cannot lose in terms of farm. That's it, right? That's it. Farm up very safely. Get to a point where you can always use your ult over to the mid lane and then just disrupt their rotation there, because they should win the lane here, Staffa. Like Kimi is good in lane, Granger is good in lane. Hilda against Phoveus is kind of whatever, right? But either way, Vamos has already winning lane set up for them in the draft, so they should not botch this.
I don't really know about that, actually. Yes, their heroes are good for getting lane prio, but I'm not sure if they just directly win the matchups they have, right? Especially
not with that kind of confidence.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't have the confidence, you know? Looking at the heroes, I don't really know if they're 100% guaranteed.
Yeah. They just need the right mindset, Staffa.
You're right.
If you think you can, you can. Right? If you think your Layla can dominate a Granger, a Bruno, you can. Kelra showed it back in M6.
That is true. That's what all the pub players do as well. If they can do it,
and they win.
Well, yeah.
They do win. Trust me, they do win.
I can't believe they win. They actually do.
They win.
That's the thing. It's not even a joke. They do actually win.
Come here in Malaysia, man. You'll see weird stuff, and then you'll be baffled by them winning.
I hate it so much. So much. But yeah, Team Vamos is gonna try and make things happen early. We're gonna see the bite go in on ZKIF, but Aero Esports have really good ways of disengaging fights.
Looking at the farm here, Hazel level 4, Aero 4 still level 4. Kuse, again, taking a lot of damage from Nets. Nets should be able to get a kill here. He really should.
One hit! Okay, there we go. First blood, the Nets Fresco.
And like I said, like they have the heroes to do it, man. Like Granger against Harv. Once Harv gets level 4, sure, it's 50-50. But before that, you should really take advantage. And it's a good thing that Nets did.
Aero 404 just trying to be annoying. When you have Baxia, Hanzo, Hilda, you have really strong lane rotation. So Team Vamos, like you mentioned, should be getting the early game lead that they are looking for, and that should give them a better game.
Now what Vamos needs to do is to bait out that Unleash the Beast, right? Someone apply some damage, some pressure so that he uses it first, and then Vamos don't go for the turtle, go for the fight.
Traction Pulse comes in, locks down Hazel, pops the Sacred Beast. Zorn gonna be pushed into the Feathered Airstrike, but he survives it all with Revitalize, and here comes Hanekage, but the snipe, Reza gonna finish Zorn off. Hazel just barely surviving with 1 HP, and Aero Esports will back it off.
And this is what they want to do, because look at what Aero is doing right now. He's farming. This is how you play a Hanzo. You don't necessarily need that turtle. If it's for free, take it. Sure, why not? But if you go there yourself, there's gonna be such a big risk. Now, speaking of risk, Kim is going in, and Zorn is there to back him up.
Yeah, this might actually be bad for them. They went very aggressive. Kim gonna be locked down, and Aero 404 gonna be eating good today. ZKIF and Kim going to be taken off the map.
Looks like Vamos, they've warmed up. They understand how Aero Esports move, and that was a big mistake coming in from Kim. Zorn was able to knock him out of the wings by wings, and then it's going to be an easy kill for Aero 404. And this is how you play Hanzo. You apply pressure, and then once the pressure is gone, then you take free stuff.
The first turtle going over to Aero 404, and this is now the start that Team Vamos was looking for in Game 1 as well. ZKIF tried to initiate on Aero 404, but ended up pulling Kim into a bad spot with him, and now ZKIF in danger once again. Flickers out of the way. Smooth gonna come in from the flank, but Hazel is there and escorts him out.
Yep, and Vamos does not have to fully commit, man. They just need to push them away, push them out, and then slowly but surely start choking Aero Esports from getting the farm. Try to bait out that Sacred Beast as much as you can. Don't engage him, just back away. It's like how you handle bullies, right? You rage bait them, let them say what they want, but in the meantime, you're off eating ice cream. That's how you deal with bullies, man.
Yeah, unless they're bigger than you, then they can just beat you up. But we don't talk about that.
If they're in front of you, get a bodyguard. Work so hard that you have a bodyguard.
All right, that sounds like very viable advice. For now, though, Team Vamos looking perfectly fine as the bullies in this situation. They are able to get the early game lead that they ideally want with this trio of Hilda, Hanzo, Baxia, and they're also creating space for Nespresso and Clockun. The later this game goes, the more comfortable Team Vamos becomes as well.
This is not good for Kuse because there's already a 1-level gap here. Nets is level 7 and Kuse is still level 6. He's about to hit level 7 pretty soon, but by that time, Nets is already hitting at level 8. Vamos, 1,600 gold lead. Aero Esports, they're still in a good enough position that both Kim as well as Kusei can do a lot of damage come late game, right? But you got to get to that point first.
And ideally, you don't want to be too behind as well, because they're just going to outscale regardless. Zaman Force comes in, Kusei flickers away from Zorn. Really well played right there. Anikage not going to be able to get the execute, so Kusei avoids the gank.
Yep, and again, just apply pressure. Because right now, look at Kusei. He has to go back to base. And when you're not there to protect your turret, guess what the Granger going to be doing, man? Pew-pewing the turrets.
And that's just getting a lot of farm. Pew Pew also being applied to Kim. The Feathered Airstrike zones away Clockun, but he eats quite a lot of damage in return. Smooth is scouting out the turtle. Here comes the rest of Vamos. Smooth gonna flicker away from the Zaman Force, and here comes Kanikage as well. Gets a knock up on Reza, but the Infernal Pursuit doing a good amount of damage. The Phobius will be blasted down in the end, and now Zorn has a free entry in. Lucas hasn't been able to work on Turtle enough. It is still 50-50, and he's eating so much damage. He will pick it up, and a flash combo! Trades his own life for Smooth, but Nespresso picks up the killing spree.
Yep, 3-0-2. Nats is looking good now. Zorn, looks like the first item is going to be that Curse Helmet. Just going to be applying a little bit more, I would say damage, but it's really just to get more assists so that you ramp up your gold even much more. Speaking of gold, almost 3,000 gold hit. And now Vamos, they're able to get that purple buff, so they're really choking out Aero Esports. I like that they understand the strength that they have with this draft. So honestly, game number 2, Vamos, even though I don't like the heal that much, but Smooth has been piloting it very well.
Yeah, Vamos is good at early game snowballs, so why not play towards that strength, right? And this lineup was pioneered to make sure that could happen. Aero Esports in a bit of a tough spot. They're not that far behind in gold, all things considered. It is still a gap you can catch up to, but you already don't have much of an advantage in late game scaling as well. So Team Vamos are sitting very comfortable.
You do if the Harif pops off, because Harif is just one of those heroes that's just a little bit dumb in terms of you can 1v9 as long as you have that item.
But really is an on-paper sort of situation.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to avoid both Nets and Clockun at the same time, it's a bit tough.
And now Aero is just trying to protect their turrets up top, and Kusei is already taking a lot of damage, and now the flicker is out. If Vamos keeps doing this, Kusei will be a non-factor in the game.
Yeah, I feel really bad for him. Like, this is literally... even having to use the Sound Force, the pressure that Vamos is applying. They've already rotated Nespresso up to the top lane. He's getting free waves, he's getting towers, and all of this just from Zorn standing in front and not allowing his lane opponent to walk up.
The Lord is going to be spawning in about 6 seconds here. Vamos, they can take it because as long as they're able to get the second tier turrets against Aero, I think they're in checkmate position, right? Because they're already looking good. In terms of the items here, Clockun has that concentrated energy, so it's going to be ramping up quite a lot in the fight, and he's going to be able to stay in for quite a while. Aero 44 is looking for his third item. 8 minutes in, 4,000 gold lead. Aero, only Reza can make a play here.
But Reza's already getting caught with the traction pulse, and Zorn locks him down, forces the flicker away, and Clockun not gonna let him escape. The rest of Aero are looking to engage though. Reza already down. Sacred Beast Bomb comes in from the flank, picks up Nespresso. That's a shutdown for Hazel. Sacred Beast Bomb right to the face, and Hazel steals the Lord away, picks up the double, picks up the triple. Team Vamos have been caught unaware, and now must retreat with their tail between their legs.
I'm sorry, but that was a big mistake coming in from Aero 404. He's already out of his shadow form. Like, I don't know why he tried to get the Lord. Even if he does, it's not worth it, man. That's not what your draft does. You're not about winning turtles. You're not about winning Lords. You're just about getting those kills. So I don't know why, when it expired, he dashed in and gave a kill over to Hazel. That was such a misplay coming in from Vamos. They just had to play the range. Just push them away, get some free kills, and then reset. That could be game-changing here.
Yeah, that was overheating at its finest. Team Vamos did not need to force that. They already picked up Reza for free. They could have reset, just like you said, waited for cooldowns, and forced Aero into a 4v5. But they full committed to it, and Lucas loves those situations. Now the lead is gone. It's in favor of Aero instead.
Yep. That was... Oh, talk about a troll. Like, that deserves a replay just for us to see what really happened in the match, because people will be glazing Hazel for sure. He did a good job, definitely. But Vamos didn't have to lose that much. If they lost nets, it's okay. Relax, let Aero pick up the Lord because that's not your win condition. Heck, it's not even Aero's win condition, right? The Lord is great, but at 8 minutes, it's not going to be that big of a difference. If they get one turret, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah,
right?
it's not a big issue. Team Vamos, again, did not need to do that. And that is a big blunder. That is a loss of composure in a really crucial timing, because if they had won that Lord instead, the game would basically be over on the spot.
And honestly, like Vamos with nets dying, even if they did get the Lord, I feel like it will still be Aero favorite. Now
trying to contest the purple. Better air strike as well. Reza doing a good job, but Nespresso picks up the shutdown. Aero Esports maybe overextending themselves as Nespresso picks up the double kill. Gets the snipe in the front line of Aero Esports. Falls in an instant. Smooth waiting in the flank, stopping the guiding wings. Kosei will get away, wings by wings, getting Kim out, but he has the flicker as well. Team Vamos fight back, and they'll go ahead and steal their buff instead.
Yeah, make sure that they don't overheat here because Aero Esports, I actually feel like they did make a good play. It's just that Vamos, they didn't make a mistake this time. They just kite it out, and that's what they have to do. As long as they don't rush in, they kite it out, it should be good. Right now, in terms of the goal, it really doesn't matter at this point because it's pretty even, and I feel like all the carries have the necessary items to perform well. Only Kusei, does he have the Holy Crystal? Looks like he does not have the Holy Crystal just yet, so maybe just waiting on that before they can really commit to a fight. Until then, they will be lacking a bit of damage when Hazel dies. As long as Hazel's there, sure, you got the damage, but once he's done, you don't have much.
Yeah, I think Aero Esports jumped the gun. They got a really good Lord fight, but there was no need for them to force the buff contest like that. They're gonna try and enter once again. Pops the Sacred Beast form. Guided Wings pulls him on top of this. Let's go! Kim gets the execute. Aero Esports not willing to take this sitting down. Here comes Hazel once again, shoving Smooth backwards. They pick up 2 kills, and that will be a free Lord.
Nets, a lot of criticism is on to him, and at that point as well, like, how did he get caught, man? Like, that was... Let's just call it. Every single time Nets dies, it's game over.
Yes.
Right? It's game over because Error does damage, but not all the time, right? The only way he has is ult. But Nets, he's that guy. He's the finisher. He's supposed to do everything. Once he's out, that's it.
Yeah, like when you really look at these lineups in comparison, Aero Esports is very much a dive composition. The heroes want to run straight at you, while Team Vamos can afford to play it slow. Granger and Kimmy means you can kite, and if they're not able to kite, Aero just wins the fight.
Which goes to show that I kind of feel like both, no, not both, just Smooth. I kind of feel like Smooth has to do a good job scouting out where Aero is, because someone has to be in the back just to protect Clockwood, just to protect Next Fresco. It's either Zorn or Smooth. I kind of feel like at this point it should be Zorn.
It's one or the other. They just need someone to defend the backline. Aero 404 gonna lose Hanekage. Not really able to do much poke damage, but at the very least, Team Vamos are able to hold on to all their inhibitors.
Nespresso at this point, he cannot die at all. Like, that's it. That should be the final death of the entire game. If he dies again, at 30 minutes, Aero can get a Lord later on, and then they can get an inhibitor. And at that point, they can just slow the game down. Let the minions do the work.
Team Vamos honestly can just position the punish. They know that Nets is the target all the time. Feathered Airstrike pokes him down. Here comes Hanekage again. Zaman Force. Looks like Jose focusing on the tower. Reza gonna be traded away. And now Hazel a bit too deep here. He might get punished for this. Goes in for the last combo. Winter Crown keeping him alive for a while. But Aero Esports have overstepped their welcome.
This is a little bit unfortunate stuff where both teams are just committing to fights where they really shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you have the luxury to just relax, right? Choke them out, freeze the minions, get the Lord, and then, you know, let them get out of the base and then do something. Because you saw Nets, he just waited for his moment, and then I guess Hazel lost patience and then went straight on to Clock and is like, whatever, man, Kimi, Granger, doesn't matter. Either or is fine.
I don't even really know what the real purpose of that was. The Feathered Airstrike did good damage to Nets. All right, good start. Kosei was just focusing the tower while the rest of Aero was trying to dive into the backline. I feel like they needed Kosei's damage if they were looking for the fight. Otherwise, they could have just taken it slow. It's so strange.
14 minutes in, going to 15. I just want to see good wave management from both teams, especially Vamos, because they do have control over here. And with that Hanzo, it's going to be much more easier for you to establish a slow push. But looking at Aero, if they can freeze the wave in their side of the map, then they can have a big advantage. Get a Lord Wit again, because I believe that they can with the draft, and then unleash their entire wave and then push it up, right? Just have 3 lanes pushed together. This is already a good way that Hazel is managing the lane. Just let 1 minion almost die just to freeze them in.
Yeah, I think if Aero Esports are able to bait Team Vamos out of the base, basically put them in a position where the backline is vulnerable, that's the best situation for them. Whereas Team Vamos want to play it slow. Let Zorn and Smooth slow down the front line while Nets and Clawkun do their poke damage. Looks like they're still going to try and commit on this though. They're trying to punish Hazel, going in for it. Winter Crown comes out once again and he survives. He dances away from Aero 404 and the backline is left exposed. Team Vamos have bitten the bait and it is coming back hard. Kosei jumping a bit too deep, but Predator Strike backs him up. He's going to be able to survive, picks up the kill on Espresso. He's going to get slain himself, but it ends up being a 3-for-3 trade.
That was a clutch Winter Crown coming in from Hazel, because if he died there, GG. Kim, 1v1 Aero. Aero can't do anything here. Kim gets a kill, killing spree, and now it's only Smooth. And now Hazel just clearing the wave. I don't think he can end it here, but he's going to try to kill Smooth.
I think he might be able to. Beast Bomb, can he
Unfortunately, that was caught on camera. You can't pretend. That was caught on camera.
We can't even pretend we didn't see that. Hazel, can he get out? He might even... Oh. That is going down the Hall of Fame in the wrong way.
That's what we call the Hall of Shame.
Oh, yes. I was looking for the word. Thank you.
Ooh. Hazel. Ooh.
That was...
Overheating just a little bit. Maybe getting a little bit too excited. You know, like, there were definitely other options for him to make sure that that mistake didn't happen, but it is what is it, you know? It is what is it.
I feel pain in my kokoro, Lafel. Like, that was not healthy for me. Predator Strike once again. Even though they don't have Hazel, Aero Esports wants to try and contest this Lord. Team Vamos are in a much better position though. Aero 404 is here with the Hanekage. He should secure it with the Retribution. Yes, he will. And Team Vamos gets out. Not quite scot-free. They left Aero 404 behind, guys! You're jungler!
I'm lost for words. Maybe they're just like, there's no way you're gonna get caught, right? I mean, you can get yourself out of this, right? You're Aero 404. You should be able to run away.
Error 404, teammates not found. Zaman Force gonna go for the tower. Smooth will cancel it, but that actually puts him really far in front. Traction Pulse locks down ZK. He'll flicker away.
Yeah, and now the Lord looks like will be taken care of. A lot of what if stuff are like, what if Error didn't die? What if Hazel didn't overcommit?
This is why anime always promotes the power of friendship, Lafel.
I mean, say what you want.
You need friends.
You don't know what's going to happen in this match.
No Nakama gets left behind, Lafel.
They need to watch a little bit more anime then, I guess.
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe they've been watching a lot of Western movies where there's just a lot of betrayals.
That is true. That does happen a lot.
In Western, there is a lot of betrayals, huh? Here in Asia, it's all about friends and etc.
I mean, maybe we're just not watching the right anime. There are like more realistic anime as well.
There's even the one where like the guys like the guys, or we don't talk about that.
No, I mean, yeah, that's the thing.
I don't like that. I like Naruto better.
I think depending on who you ask, there is some of that in Naruto too.
Oh, dude, let's talk about the game, man. Let's look at the items, because even that is full build without any boots, which is great, but also kind of bad because you don't have that movement speed. If someone gets on top of you, pause. If someone gets on, pause. Like, if he gets caught, it's not good.
I feel like we're reaching the point in this game where it's a little
I need a reset.
It's a little bit hard to think about things logically.
I need 100+.
Because like both these teams are sus. One word, sus. I don't know what's happening on the map right now. I also need 100+. Give me a moment.
I feel like it's just, in a way, they're looking down at their opponents. They're like, what's the worst that can happen? I can get a TikTok reel here. I can get people clipping me here and there and then showing it over to Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and the Philippines. And I feel like they will still get that clips, but not for the right reason.
It's so back and forth. It's like these two teams are on like elevators next to each other. And they keep thinking, haha, you're beneath me. And then they just rise up to the same level again. That's like the situation we're seeing right now. Aero Esport's gonna contest another purple. Looks like Team Vamos is not interested in contesting this one. They want to save their resources for the Lord. Also, the waves are pushing, so they can't really go out anyway.
Yep. So now Aero. I feel like Aero, it's very straightforward, right? Take care of nets, and then that's it. But for Vamos, there's a lot of threats here, right? Kuse is now a threat. He's full build. Kim is a threat. But the thing is, Kim already dishes out most of the damage before the fight even starts. Hazel is that threat where you're not entirely sure what to do with him. Like you wanna kite things out and let Hazel make that mistake. But at this stage of the game, Hazel shouldn't make a mistake.
Logically speaking, no. Feathered Airstrike gonna do some really good damage to Clockhood, forces him back. Aero Esports regains control over the river. And they're still not too sure where Vamos is, so this is gonna be a bit of a slow one.
Smooth has vision over to Reza. I believe he doesn't have vision of Zekif and Hazel, and Zekif is just waiting to make sure that Hazel stays safe. They see the Kimi down there, and now they see the Granger. I don't know why they reveal both of them, but Aero is not going to punish this anyway. I feel like the moment they see the Granger and the Kimi, they can start establishing more presence around the Lord Pit.
Yeah, I think they're just afraid because the Baxia and then the Hanzo actually join the fight very quickly. They're gonna bring Kosei forward, try to engage on Zorn. He gets blasted with a better airstrike and executed. And now Hazel is 1v2. Nom nom. Aero 4-4 not actually gonna be able to eat him. And now Smooth gonna lose his immortality. Reza stopping Nespresso from walking forward, and he still keeps his immortality intact. There is no casualties on Aero, and they've picked off 2 from Vamos.
They're very low, but you do have that Matilda to top you up. And looks like Hazel is gonna get those jungle creeps just to heal up. But I don't know. Hazel is full health here. Vamos can't contest this. They just gotta defend the next one.
Why are you even here, Clockhood? I feel like that's a bit too risky. Lord gonna go over to Aero Esports. Team Vamos now gonna need to mount a defense here. They have a lot of damage. If they position correctly, they should be able to clear the Lord, but Aero Esports clearly in the driver's seat now.
In terms of wave clear, I feel like it's okay-ish for Vamos. For Aero at this point, I kind of feel like if they have the immortalities, maybe they can actually force this one out, because I feel like at this point, you can actually force to end the game. Like, as long as Kuse opens up the Zaman Force, there's no more minions inside of the base, and then I can think he can just hit the crystal.
Potion for Hazel, man, is going all in. They want to end with this Lord push here. We're 23 minutes in. Aero Esports wants to make sure there's no more chance for Vamos to come back. Feathered Airstrike whiffs on that Fresco, unfortunately. Sacred Beast gonna be popped down as well, but Aero taking it slow. Zaman Force comes out. Hanekage gonna be blasted away. Aero 4-4 forced back to base, but Clockhood gonna be jumped on as well. Aero Esports is diving into the crystal. They do not